Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and welcome to Allotment of the Dead. So I'm Jason. This is my channel, and it's called Allotment of the Dead because over the season I generally grow a lot of poisonous plants. So having that kind of moniker of Allotment of the Dead is one of the reasons potentially why I've called it that. That and my love for zombies. As you can see probably behind me, lots of little signs around for warning about zombies. So that's kind of what this plot is all about. So we're into December now, and Allotment of the Dead is pretty much turned into Allotment of the Dead because there's not a lot growing now. There's not a lot that is still alive down this plot. There is some things coming into flower and things like that as well, because the thing about toxic plants especially is there is a toxic plant for pretty much every part of the year. In fact, most of the UK plants, a lot of them probably you shouldn't be eating because they can give you some really horrible toxic effects, including death. Right, let me give you a quick December tour. So this is kind of, it's the 21st of December today, so we're only 4 days before Christmas. A nice Saturday, which at the moment has been quite dry, albeit very windy. Let me show you the plot as it looks now, and there is a lot that needs doing. There's a lot of weeding, a lot of things that I'm going to need to kind of fix, basically because of that horrible wind we've had recently. But let me show you what we've got going at the minute. Okay, so I'm stood by the alley house, and you'll notice straight away I've got the bird feeders all full, basically because this time of year is absolutely awful for birds. There's not a lot of food around, and they're all trying in effect to live over that winter period, and not quite into the realms of feeding young and things yet, but come the spring, that's what they'll be looking for. So I put some of these feeders out, help the birds out during this horrible winter period. Right, let me just walk down to the foot of the plot, where the entrance is. So it's been a hard year this year. Lots of things happening. The actual season itself wasn't great. We've had lots of, in effect, water, a lot of rain, and not much in the way of sunshine. And we've had to clear out my mum's house this year as well, which is where a lot of these things like the wind sculpture there and things like that have come from. I've brought down quite a bit from my mum's house down to here, that will kind of help out. So there's probably a trowel almost, we say that now, almost in every bed, but not quite in this one. So the josterberries, I've cut those back. They are the first fruit that comes every year, and I'm going to try and keep them under control. And those, like I've been saying for probably a few months now, those will definitely be cut out before they start growing in earnest. I don't want those grapes anymore. So we'll build something else for that front there. Probably going to be a thornless blackberry. And I've cut back all of the lilies. So the lilies, a couple of pots of lilies there. You'll find there's quite a few bin bags of rubbish that I need to take down the tip. But yeah, all the lilies have been cut down to the base, and I'm going to mulch them, give them a little bit more compost on the top. The self-seeded buddleia there, I'm going to be in danger of ripping my phone apart if I'm not careful. So that self-seeded buddleia, I think I'm going to take that out and pot it up and put it somewhere else. I love buddleia. I've got 4 different colours of buddleia, and they always do really well. Right, so yeah, this one here is one of the buddleias here. So this one potentially can grow all the way over the path. I think I picked this one up from one of the National Trusts. So there's a blue variety and a purple variety in that tyre on the corner there. I put a tyre there basically so when I'm strimming I don't end up taking out that corner. So this year the Hellebores have been really nice, and I've got these nemesia still growing. The frost seems to have been alright. It's quite a sheltered position here, but I think I'm going to have some absolutely fantastic flowers off the hellebore this year. So if you know about hellebores, the winter rose, this is the one of the plants that is toxic. Every part of this plant is toxic. In fact, if you actually take the plant out by the root, back in the days when they used to have sieges of castles and things like that, they used to throw these whole plants down the wells, which would poison the water supply. And it's got that ability to kind of weaken your constitution. It just makes you really, really weak. So when it came to the actual siege itself, the attackers had quite an advantage. Right, we'll have a look in. So yeah, more Nemesia here. So they've done really, really well. Right, got this mint pelargonium. I'm hoping that these will come back next year. It is a perennial geranium, really. So, and the green parts do still smell of mint. So hopefully we'll do all right. Right, that's from my mum's. I had to put it up somewhere. Right, thank you very much. Right, we'll go into the the aubergine house. Sorry, I planted some kale in here. It's not done a great deal in here. I think it's because of that cold period, and we've got some chard and beetroot growing in here as well. And the spring onions, they are there, although they're not doing much at the moment. So we'll leave them in the ground, see what happens. My wasabi is doing great, to be honest with her. I could probably start harvesting some leaves and things like that off this, and we should be good. And the Chinese cabbage, I am actually going to have some Chinese cabbage. It's just starting to heart up in the middle now. That's really, really nice. I've had a taste of some of the leaves and things, and oh, they taste really good. Almost like a mustardy taste about them, but really, really nice. So I think there's a few slugs and things that have got to these as well, but they're doing okay. We're going to have a nice Chinese cabbage there, I think. And again, some more of the Tuscany and dazzling blue kale, which hopefully should pick up a little bit as it gets a little bit warmer. My brugmansia I brought in here to overwinter, and it's probably done a death now. So what I'm going to do is cut that back and leave it, and then hope that it comes back early next year. I'm not sure whether it will or not. I've got some more seeds, so I'll be planting those. Be fine. And the artesia, or the wormwood, still doing okay. And this absolutely gorgeous mesembryanum, really salty leaves, a little bit like samphire, so you can use it in salads and things like that. But it's got a really nice salty taste to it, really quite tasty. Right, so you can see these nice little red clips everywhere now, so the cable ties. So in that high wind I managed to lose the netting, but yeah, everything is still holding up in there. Let me have a look. Right, so I've got a nice kohlrabi there. There's a couple of holes in it, but we'll take that. I don't normally grow kohlrabi. I thought I would for a change, especially really, really nice in coleslaw, so we'll give that a go. I've still got some little bits of kale and stuff kicking around in here. Don't even look at my sprouts, they're awful. Again, I've spent too long with the chilies, not enough with everything else. But I've got this red Russian kale and the Cavolo Nero, so we'll be taking some of that. I'm going to probably come down on Christmas morning and pick some of the kale from here. So we've got some really nice curly kale here as well. So I think this is actually Siberian kale, because it's a little bit taller than the curly kale usually is. And we've got this fire and ice kind of gorgeous white kale, which again are really, really nice, especially as kale chips. And then on the way out we'll have a look at so this is I think it's 1,000 head kale. So these really huge leaves, there's a little bit of white fly on the back, that'll all nicely clean off, should be fine. Again, so this is the 1,000 head kale, which is quite a large leafed variety of kale, but again, very nice. Right, Excuse all the rubbish as we go around, unfortunately, because I've still got a lot to get rid of, and as you see, the wind is taking all this. I've got some carrots growing back, so I planted a few more in here. This here at the front was all blown in. It's not straight now. We'll see how that goes. Right, let's come around here. So I've top dressed the dahlias, and I think the foxes have been digging in here again. We see the perpetual kale here. Again, really fantastic plant, but I need to cut it back a bit. I think it's getting a bit out of control. I'm surprised it's actually not been savaged by the pigeons, because they usually, around this time of year, they usually decimate it. And again, I've got some really nice hellebores just coming into flower here as well. Absolutely love hellebores, and the euphorbia is coming back nicely now as well. I've got some nice magenta kale there to take, chard to take there, and I have some more Chinese cabbage. So I think these are actually starting to try and bolt, which is surprising because it's so cold. I've got some pak choi that's bolting as well as these yellow flowers. But I'll be taking the Chinese cabbage. That'll be really good. I've got a few beetroot in there which aren't doing a great deal at the moment, so we'll leave them in. Right. Oh gosh, see that wind? It's just blowing everything around. Right, the pineapple guava doing really well, and we've got the sheep kill or kalima, and the daphne, yeah, still doing okay. The cola bush, I think I need to cut back. So this is another wormwood variety. This one smells of Coca-Cola. You can actually put it into drinks and things. The garlic kale, no, sorry, garlic chives, they're doing okay. I've planted in here a mixture of snowdrops, and right in the center there is some, well, I think there's 3 fritillaries, persicara. So they're black fritillaries. So this should be quite an interesting looking tub when it comes out, because there's going to be a mixture of hopefully black and white in there. We'll see how that looks. Right, and I'm expecting this one to start smelling anytime soon. So this is the sarcococca, absolutely gorgeous smelling shrub. Again, a winter flowering shrub. Right, okay, I think I'm gonna have to cut back quite a bit of this because it's all dying a little bit. Have we got any inmates at the insect house? I'm not sure. So have I put this on the right wall? I'm not sure. Let me see. So over in that direction there, I think is south. So this is west. So this is east facing. This might not be the best place for this. Let me know. I'll try and shift it if it's not the best place for it. Right, we'll have a quick look in the new build. Yeah, the wind is blowing everything around at the moment. Oh, I've brought the laburnum into the dry for now, and the olive plant still smells really good. Really smells well of olives. I've got plenty of seeds to depod. So again, these are all sweet peas. Got loads of those to depod, and also I think I'm going to try and I'll harvest that. I'll grow a new one next year. So this is the lemongrass. I'll harvest it and then preserve what I can from that. They're all my shoeberry fruit I've just cut back, and I planted these some time ago. I don't know whether you guys remember me planting these. So this is the Lords and Ladies. It's got a nice layer of moss there, but these nice little seeds have finally germinated. So I kind of put this to one side and just left it, forgot about it, and I came across it this morning, and I'm quite pleased that they're doing really well. Right, let me go and show you what the adult plant looks like. So I thought I'd killed it earlier in the season. Right. So the poison gardens are pretty much died back now, except for those hellebores. So that's all the stuff I've actually just chopped out of them just now. You can see here the flowers of the hellebores are coming on these, so they'll be nice. And I've done a little bit of digging over the back there. I'm going to leave this to its own devices. I think there's a few kind of plants trying to grow. I think some of these are corncockle, and some of them will be different varieties of digitalis, but we'll see how they look. We've also got here, there we go, so there's the adult plant of Lords and Ladies, or the, I think it's called an arum lily. So hopefully we'll have a nice big white flower on that one. So those things I've dug out over there are from these sort of things. So these are the Jerusalem artichokes. Now, I am yet to be convinced that Jerusalem artichokes are something that is edible. I don't like them. Never have liked them, I don't think. I've only tried them a couple of times. But give me some recipes. Is there any way that I can eat these Jerusalem artichokes that will basically change my mind on them? Because at the moment, I'm not going to change my mind on them. Right, so we've got the garlic that I planted. So there's a video of me planting these garlic. And yet again, I have got 3 of the varieties have done really well again. So we've got, oh, they've actually rubbed off. That's just unusual. I think that's Frida or something. I can't remember what they were. I'll have to find out from my video and relabel them. I have got some really decent pens that I use. So I put in the elephant garlic in this kind of final area, and I've got absolutely nothing yet. But you never know. We'll see how it goes. Right. We've got some chard and things growing on the side there. Not much else going on. Let's just put that there for now. Okay. Plenty of water around, and we've got some nice, there we go, some cabbage and some mustards in there as well. I'm just going to leave them to it. The datura I've got there is dead to the world now, so I'll be taking that out. And I still haven't got round to digging this area over, so there's quite a bit to do still. So these holes were all for my tomatoes, which again didn't do fantastic this year. Plenty to dig out. We've got self-seeded spinach, gone to seed there as well. And I definitely need to tie in the blackberry for next year. That's got to be one of my first jobs, I think, before I can't figure out which was last year's and which is this year's. So I need to do that. Right, my cosmos, that's what's left of the cosmos. Proper died with all this cold weather, as is this. It was quite a magnificent looking borage, but yeah, not great. Still got the death pods on the ricin, which I'll be taking off shortly. Right, we'll just give you a quick glance in the polytunnel. I've basically dug out all of the chili plants in there now. There's not a massive amount going on in there now. Right, let's open up here. So this is the first one I've cleared, so 5-6 bags to go down to the tip. I'm going to try and harvest some potatoes. Again, I think I might do that Christmas morning. Charlottes and Pentland Javelin, those are ones that basically the frost got to them, and I need to see what's going on with the jicama. But we'll see what happens with that. I've left in 2 of the big rows of I think this was a kind of a mint. I can't remember the name of it now. But it's one of those inedible mints that basically is supposed to keep the ants away, but I'm not sure it does that job at the moment, because I still had ants in here. I've got pond plants growing in the hanging baskets. I am going to probably pot those on and then stick them into my little pond I've got out there, and then try and prune back the pelargoniums. These did come back from last year, so hopefully they'll do the same again. Got myself a little heater. So this is one of those ones that goes off the gas bottles. I'm going to be trying to come down of an evening and trying to do a bit more weeding and things in these polytunnels in the evening. So that hopefully should take the edge off the temperature in here. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is kind of almost ready for next year. I'm going to put some fresh bark down the middle. I always put pots in the middle as well. So I grow kind of all sorts of different chilies and things in pots. So I'm going to try and grow a nice big aubergine in a pot this year. So it's called a Aswad chili. Aswad aubergine. The chard and everything's still doing okay. We can harvest some of that. That should be nice. And again, lots of these hanging baskets just to try and clear and cut back. So the pelargoniums, I'm going to leave those in the baskets, and then probably plant some more nasturtium in with them in the growing season and see how they look. And yeah, we should be all right. So in here, it looks like a bomb's hit this place. All of the labels are still in here. So I'm going to have to, in effect, dig all of those out. So I'm not sure whether this is still alive in here. That's my Tamarillo. I'm going to probably leave it until the spring and then uncover it and then just see if there's any sign of life in it. There might be. But temperature-wise in here at the minute, it's kind of been 0 for most of the time at the moment. Now you can see here I've left 2 chilies in the ground. I haven't covered them. I haven't done anything else with them. I'm just going to see whether there's any signs of growth in the spring. So there's that one there, which is a skunk red. And I've got the one over there, which did really well this year, which was a Ryan. I'm just going to leave it. Now, it's probably going to die. It's probably going to be dead. But we'll see what happens. And then the ahi charapita and the ricotta, I've chopped them right back. And again, if there's no sign of growth in the spring, I haven't lost anything really. I'll just get rid of them, and then we use the soil for the beds. Right. So December, we're into winter, and there's not a great deal going down the plot, going on down here. There's plenty kind of planning to do. So as I say, I think I've transferred or sent about 14 lots of chili seeds to various different people across the country for the chili challenge I'll be doing in January. So I'm really pleased that there's been so much interest in that. So we should hopefully have some really nice long cayenne peppers next year. We'll see if we can get any world record contenders. Should be interesting. The other thing that I'll be kind of looking at is what other chilies I'm going to be starting in January. So I've got probably again another 150 varieties or so, and we'll see how that happens. And then this year I am going to try my earnest to plant everything a little bit earlier, just to hopefully get some bigger plants, some nice robust plants before I get them in the ground and give them that fighting chance of giving me some really decent fruit off them. I mean, the pumpkins this year were awful. Again, there's probably the slugs didn't help, and the horrible wet weather wasn't great for them either. Kind of where that pumpkin was on the ground, they don't like that moisture very much. Right, so that's as I say, I'm going to say a quick tour, but it's probably not a quick tour. It's probably about 20 minutes or so. So that's kind of what this is looking like at the moment. I have got plenty to do. I've got 2 other plots that I need to address as well this year. One of them is the other part of my wife's plot, which is kind of the orchard side. I need to take take a shed down. I'm going to move the shed onto another plot that I've got, and I'm going to try and get a nice wood burning stove in there if I can, just again give us a nice warm place to go on particularly cold days and things. It should be nice. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's going to be a work in progress. I think I'm not sure how successful it's going to be. We'll see. So that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. Like I said, not a massive amount going on, but there's plenty to do. There's plenty to kind of prepare. So there's lots of digging to do. I've got a lot of weeding to do. There's a lot of plants to try and cut back a little bit. Some of the buddleia and that, come February, will need pruning back just to give them a nice shape. With buddleia, it's more about kind of shaping the plant rather than doing anything else to them, really, because they do grow really, really well. And I'm going to try where I can and see what potatoes and jicama I've got. I probably haven't got much, but we'll see what happens. Right, so that's me for today. So we'll see you on the next video. So all the best, guys. Take care. Bye bye.